All right, so today we're talking about new Sacramento home buyer benefits. And this is really important because there are a lot of benefits out there for first-time home buyers that most people don't even know about. And I just heard that the Sacramento Association of Realtors did this huge workshop for first-time home buyers or anyone looking to buy. And it sounds like there were over 350 people. There was a line to get in, like 20 to 30 minutes before they even open the doors for this conference. And so what that tells me is that there's not a lot of people out there that don't know about what benefits are available for them. And as a first-time home buyer, there really are a lot. There are a lot more restrictions removed. You actually tend to get a much better interest rate if your credit score isn't as good or your income isn't as good. Now, why do you get a better interest rate? Because normally if your credit score isn't good, you're going to get a big hit on that. And same with down payment, debt to income ratios, things like that. So what are the new benefits? One of the new benefits is the Cal HFA program. Not necessarily new, but what they offer and who is now accepting those types of down payment assistance programs is what's new. So they have a conventional down payment assistance program and they have an FHA down payment assistance program. Both have all kinds of requirements. So I always encourage to call me and talk to me because every area is a little bit different. So if you're not in Sacramento necessarily, they do break it into different somewhat zip codes based on the requirements. But you have conventional and FHA. What's nice about a conventional down payment assistance program is there's more properties that qualify. Interest rate tends to be a little bit higher, but it is a set interest rate. The FHA interest rate is a little bit lower. And the nice thing about FHA is they allow a higher debt to income ratio. But that's not new. Those down payment assistance programs have been around for quite a while. What is new is that this mortgage company, United Wholesale Mortgage, which is the #1 mortgage lender in the nation. I know that there are others in lending spaces, but UWM is the #1 mortgage lender in the nation. Why is it important that they're offering this? Well, right now they are accepting Vantage Score. They are part of a pilot program with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac where they can now accept Vantage Score. So there's the alternative is FICO score. Now, FICO is very restrictive on how they look at your credit. So they basically are like, if you had something in collections, they're very slow to, when you pay that off, to improve your score. Same thing when it comes to maxing out credit cards. I mean, almost anything you do, it's going to take time for them to reflect it in their system if they even accept it at all. Whereas Vantage Score, which was also made by the credit bureaus, accept that really quickly. And so it's really important to know that Vantage Score, most people have a really high Vantage Score compared to FICO. If you're on Credit Karma, usually, I believe, and most banking apps, they run off of Vantage Score. So whatever you're seeing there is probably pretty accurate. Now, if you're thinking, hey, well, my credit score, there's no way I can afford to buy because my score is too low, I really encourage you talking to me because I can run your credit, no money out of pocket for you. Then I'll spend $14 or have you, depending on the situation, you may have to spend $14, but we'll have that conversation. But $14. And this company provides plans detailing exactly what to do in order to improve your credit. And what's nice is before we used to have to pay for something called a rapid rescore if you wanted to buy right now. Now, Vantage Score updates most of those line items and those improvements you made as soon as the next billing cycle comes out, basically when that credit agency reports it to the bureau. So when they have a new billing cycle, it's typically when they send all those reports out, and you're going to see an improvement in your score very quickly. So that is another big thing. Now, the third kind of topic to talk about with UWM is that they now have partnered with Built. Built was designed to be a concierge service, especially around property management. So when you make on-time payments, you would get points if your property manager was a part of the Built program. Those points could be used for restaurants, they could be used for travel, for, I mean, I from what I understand, a lot of different things, and they've partnered with a ton of restaurants in order to allow you to be able to use those points. Built has now partnered with UWM. As of right now, it's exclusively with UWM. So as you make on-time mortgage payments, Of course, that gets reported to the credit bureaus, but you get points that you can use wherever. And so that's a huge benefit. The other huge benefit that they have is they constantly have new programs and promotions. Like right now, they're running a free temporary rate buy down. So for your first 12 months of payments, you get 1% less in your payment for your interest rate, which usually saves people. I mean, it varies from loan amount to loan amount, but I'm seeing an average of $200 to a little over $300 a month in savings for the next 12 months. For refinancing, right now, they're providing 86 basis points towards your refinance, which is 0.86%. So those things come and go constantly, which is really nice to me, because if I get a client who needs some good benefits, they have that available. Now, I have a guest speaker with me today. I have got Paola with Vision Forward Realty, based out of Sacramento, local native. And I have her as my guest speaker because I want her to kind of talk about the area and kind of talk about, what she's seeing in the market as well, because she's a full-time agent. This is who would be going to bat for you and working for you. So Paola, thanks for joining. You're born and raised here, right?
Actually, I'm born and raised in Fresno, California.
Born and raised in Fresno.
Yeah.
That's good. Born and raised in Fresno. Okay. I mean, hey, right down the way. But I do have some questions for you. So the first is, what I get a lot, which areas in the greater Sacramento Valley are the most affordable that you've kind of seen?
I've seen that there are a lot of the locations like North Highlands, Rancho Cordova, Citrus Heights, some areas of Citrus Heights that have affordable housing. It all depends on what the buyer's looking for. If they're looking for a certain location, like the schools, any of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Yeah, because I know those areas seem to always be very popular, but they never seem to jump over a certain price range, which is nice.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're
the what?
I said what I'm seeing is they range from 300. Some areas I've seen that a home like the 250s, 290s, and range to 370s, depending on the bedrooms, the bath, the location that you want.
Nice. I love it. And there's always condos in those areas too, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's condos.
And then for my second question, can buyers right now, do you feel like buyers can negotiate for the seller to lower their price or cover the buyer's closing costs?
Yes. So it all depends. You can ask for the closing costs, credits for the closing costs, credit for repairs, credit to buy down the interest. It all depends on if the house is on the market for a long time. You don't want to ask for all of that on the newer ones, because what if they have all these all of these offers? The ones that have been on the market the longest, it's better to be able to get all those credits that you're asking for.
Oh, I love it. And then are you seeing a lot of houses on the market, and like, are you seeing just a lot of houses on the market, and do buyers seem to have more options than, the last several years?
Yeah, so right now you do see a lot of homes on the market. So you're able to see if you want a certain location that you want, that you are like the school. The school this is what the school where I want my kids to be. You have here in North Highlands area, the Foothill Farms area. There's multiple houses that are on the market for a very long time that you can work on it and ask for credits and any of that.
Yeah.
But it all depends on what the buyer wants, where the buyer wants to go, and in the right team that you have, a good lender, a good agent that's able to work the deal for you.
Yeah, I love it. And then should buyers be buying in a declining market? As in, should they only go for areas where average home sale values are significantly declining? Because I get people all the time that say, oh, I'm going to be waiting for prices to drop.
Well, honestly, it's what the buyer wants. This is a long-term goal that most of the buyers are looking at. And if you don't want to just go because of, oh, it's a lower price or any of that. No, you want to go and get a home that you want, that when you walk in, you're like, oh, this is it. This is what I see. This is what I want. It has my 3 bedrooms. It has my 2 bedrooms. It has my big yard. It all depends, and the market varies. You can get one moment it's high, one moment it's low, one moment it's perfect. It's up to the person. Yeah. And
I find when people put more focus in what they want, it tends to be what other people want. And so in the future, when they go to sell, people want that.
Yeah, because when you buy the home that you want, you're gonna make it better. You're gonna do a paint job. You're gonna update the kitchen, update the bathroom, update the master bedroom, and you get the equity. You get the everything that some other person's gonna want. That's gonna like what you've done to the place when you're ready to sell and get a bigger place or whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Now I'm going to throw a little twist at you because I didn't prepare you ahead of time for this.
No, you didn't.
Do you mind answering those same questions in Spanish? And somewhat repeating the question I asked, like helping me translate, but ask it in Spanish, because I did have someone I completely forgot to say like, hey, if there's a portion in Spanish, I would love that. Do you mind doing that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So
the first question would be, which areas in the greater Sacramento area are the most affordable?
Todo depende del lugar que quieres comprar tu casa. Puede ser en North Highlands, puede ser en Rancho Cordova, puede ser en Outgrove. Es lo que tú quieres hallar para ti mismo, la casa perfecta para ti y tu familia.
Awesome. And then, well said. And the reason they asked was they speak English, but there's some things that it just would be easier. And a lot of our loan documents now are in Spanish and a lot of educational materials in Spanish. So, and then can buyers negotiate for the seller to lower their price or cover closing costs?
Okay. I'm going to do it. I don't speak
however you want.
The Spanish perfectly.
Totally fine.
But sí puedo agarrar créditos para que arreglen la casa, créditos para que paguen sus costos de cerrar, cualquier cosa podemos trabajar para ustedes. Todo el equipo que agarre con el prestamista, con su agente de bienes, todo depende.
And then, are you seeing a lot of houses on the market? Do people have a lot more options right now?
Sí, ahorita tienen muchas opciones que pueden mirar casas. Todo depende de la área que esté buscando. Aquí en Sacramento, como North Highlands, hay muchas casas, o Foothill Farms. Hay muchas casas disponibles que puedes mirar. Todo depende de qué está buscando. Si de una recámara, 2 recámaras, 3 recámaras, un baño, 2 baños, una alberca, cualquier cosa.
Awesome. And then should buyers be buying, how should I put this? So should buyers focus on prices that are houses with prices dropping, or should they focus on something else?
Pienso que usted no debe de pensar si la marqueta está para abajo o mucho. No, tiene que buscar la casa de sus sueños, la casa que usted quiere, la casa que usted mire y diga, esta es la casa que quiero para mí y mi familia. Esta es la casa que puedo mirar que mis nietos, mis hijos estén jugando, cualquier cosa.
I love it. Well, thank you, Paola. I try to have people, try to offer as much as we can, because here's been my experience. Yes, I don't speak Spanish. I can easily use a translator where I know exactly what it's saying, like an actual translator app. I have one. Um, but I'm finding that people who speak Spanish exclusively a lot of times are getting screwed over the most. And it's really frustrating to see. Like I've seen loan estimates, some of the documents where I thought, whoa, I don't know. I don't even know how the lender approved that. That's crazy. And so I just think that if anyone is looking for good representation, if you've got someone in your team who is pretty fluent, it helps, in our captions for these videos, it can translate it to Spanish, but I don't know how it handles if you're speaking in Spanish, putting I don't know if it does the captions, but we will see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
It's like, I guess you would say that I don't speak the proper Spanish. They have there's different levels, and I think I'm more of conversational and thinking. So
yeah,
hopefully I did a good job.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you kind of making that little twist, and thank you for joining the call. And if anyone wants to reach out to Paola, we'll have information for her. And yeah, so thank you.